The mandated
Yeah.
safety comes from myself as a gauge because I've had some debilitating injuries and I've dealt with many, many years of chronic pain, and I do not wish that on any of my students. That was, of course, from my own stupidity, but at the same time, there was a certain environment that it wasn't necessarily, the instructors or the owner's fault. We just didn't know any better, right? Jiu-Jitsu was so new at the time. We didn't know. We did a lot of trial and error, and there was a lot of um, injuries and bad injuries too. But we would just train through them. We would just train through them. Use braces or a lot of tape, and you just keep going because it was extremely competitive and you didn't want to, for me anyway, and it was just like, man, I wasn't the most athletic of the group or the most talented, so I had to like, I felt like I had needed to train twice as much. So I didn't want to like fall behind. I didn't want to, give anyone the satisfaction of me taking so much time off, coming back and getting my butt kicked. So it was a very competitive environment, and I just like, okay, I don't want to fall behind. So if there was anything that I could manage and deal with the pain, I'd go back and train. Let me
Gotcha.
give you the worst example and the one that I'm paying the price for the most. I
Mm-hmm.
had a minor neck surgery. I don't want to say that it was like some of these other guys out there who have it a lot worse, like doing fusion and stuff like that. I didn't get fusion or any massive like vertebrae surgery. I had a decompression, which is like one of the easier ones you can deal with.
Okay.
All they do is they go in and um, I was basically losing total feeling in my arm. So I went
Mm-hmm.
in, got the surgery done because basically it was the canal of which one of the nerves was coming out, or most of the canals in my C4, 5, 6, and 7, they're pretty
Okay.
like tight. So there's not a lot of room for the nerve that comes out from your central stem to, do your extremities, your arms, your legs, and so on. So one of them was bad enough that it was almost cutting the nerve, and that's why I was losing feeling in my arm. So what they do is they go in and they cut around the canal to loosen it, so
Right.
there's more wiggle room now for the nerve to function, and there's, again, less risk of me losing feeling in my arm completely. So that's what I did. But because it was a minor surgery, well, minor surgery, it was a surgery. It,
Still,
it
it's a
was it
surgery
was it
nonetheless. They're
was
cutting
still in
into
the
you.
surgery that it was like in and out. Like I was in the
Mm.
morning, and they sent me home at
Okay.
night, and they sent me home at night, right? Well, let's just say that maybe I was supposed to take a few months to just take it easy, you know, but
Yeah.
I felt good enough after 2 weeks to get on there and start
Ooh.
rolling again, sparring again, and get right back to training the way I was. But I was young still. I was still pretty young, like mid 20s. So it was good enough for me to go back and try again. And I felt okay
So
with
I'm
it. But
curious.
now I feel like,
Yeah.
man, I paid the price. I probably should have taken the full time off and did everything that I needed to do, you know. So, and
I'm really curious because in the moment it sounds like you did it and you got away with it. And in the moment I understand. It's like, hey, like I
yeah,
feel fine. I'm sparring. Things are great, right?
yeah,
But
yeah.
I guess if you don't mind me prying, how did you? What were the ramifications of it? Like, did you feel that like things regressed faster? Was it what were the
Well, no, the
ramifications coming
doctors
back so
always
soon?
told the doctors told me that if if I went back to my lifestyle that I was having, that this
Hmm.
surgery was a temporary solution. That if I kept up my lifestyle, that I would eventually have to go back again.
I
But they
see.
were like, it could be 5 years, it could be 10 years, it could be 15 years, you know.
Mhm.
But they did tell me that I would eventually, if I kept a super crazy MMA lifestyle, that I would end up probably having surgery again.